Hello.
Ciao.
Let me introduce everyone that's sitting here. It's a pretty big wig pack of people right here. We have right next to me director Ridley Scott. Ooh, Queen, Diva, Princess, Lady Gaga. Adam Driver. Mr. Al Pacino. You didn't clap for yourself. What happened? Al Pacino.
Al Pacino.
Writer Roberto. Oh, let me read it.
Roberto.
Pennsylvania. Yes. And we have the queen herself, Giannina Scott. And we've heard it a couple times today, the very attractive Jared Leto. He loves it every time. And Miss Selma Hayek, welcome.
Salma.
And coming to us from London is Mr. Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy.
Let's get started, you guys. I saw this movie this morning, so I'm still sort of vibrating from the energy that was sort of conjured up. You guys did an incredible job. I'm going to ask straight out, what was it like working with Sir Ridley Scott?
Amazing, incredible, an honor. He's an architect. He's a legendary artist. I enjoyed every moment of it, and I don't want to speak for everybody, but he really set the tone for creating a family. And it's a fucked up family, but we're a real good family.
Yes, it was so joyful. That's the one thing that I will remember the most about him. How much he loves what he does, how much joy he brings to the set every day, every take. And I was there for a brief time, and I learned so much from him. And I will really cherish that for the rest of my life.
Ooh, how does that feel receiving that so far? Because we're going to
Send shivers up my spine.
use the mic, please.
Oh, sorry. Send shivers up my spine.
We're going to continue sending shivers up your spine. Jared Leto, what do you think about working with this legend? You've worked with many.
He's a master. Personally, one of my favorite. His films have changed my life. They've taught me about cinema, about acting, about cinematography.
Uh-oh.
Oh, well, hey, well, look at that.
Mini mics.
Here we are. Now this is going to work. No, but I just, his films really touched me deeply, and the breadth of his work, his career is just, it's unparalleled. And I think all of us feel just a deep, immense amount of gratitude to work with this genius here. And, I would do it again in a second. So thank you, Ridley. I really appreciate the job.
That was a verbal contract, Sir Ridley Scott.
Never said that in the set.
He said it today, and it's on camera.
You just couldn't understand me because of the accent.
Adam, thoughts on working with Sir?
It would be echoing what's already been said, but also that he's created everything. He's incredibly prepared, has a great sense of humor, and everything is designed to help you. So you're not so much aware of the cameras at all, and he's designed it that way. And if you ever want to go again, he will totally give you space to. But he has incredible faith in you and advocates spontaneity, and everyone is on their the tip of their toes from the beginning. There's no finding it. Everyone's there kind of with you. He's great, and obviously one of the best, and an incredible painter as well visually, and it always has a great piece of direction that unlocks a scene that's very succinct. He doesn't overtalk anything. It's really the best working experience.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Adam. Mr. Al Pacino.
He is, I would say, inordinately great director, and he is actually shockingly great.
Shockingly?
Yes, you could quote me on that.
What was so
He shocked
shocking
me
about
quite
it?
a few times. He did. He shocked me, and I thought, who the hell is this? What has he just said? I can't understand this man until I tried out what he said to me. And
Really?
It was all amazing, yeah.
Always a
amazing.
student, huh? Still?
Oh, yeah, always the student. Oh, yes. And from Wrigley, it's just a joy and a great opportunity to be with someone like that on a
You
film.
guys have all worked on such incredible projects. Why was he so well suited to bring the Gucci family to the big screen?
Well, there's a lot of life in this movie, and as I was kind of, he kind of sets it up for you to. He's unprecious with it, which I feel is kind of rare, considering how prepared he is. That he knows it doesn't. Well, I'm assuming, wouldn't live and die. It would kind of die if it was choreographed, and that kind of trust you feel that you're willing to kind of go anywhere.
That's right.
And the script kind of, it kind of has to be that way. It has to feel alive. Probably more so in most because of the nature of who they were as people, I think.
Lady, did you feel very spontaneous? Did you feel free to be spontaneous on the set?
I felt very much like, although there was such a remarkable sort of structure, like I said, like he's an architect, he's a visionary. There was a method to the way that we shot the film, and the way that he approached all of us, I think, was so empowering. And I have to say this, just to thank you as a woman on set. Really, I always felt so empowered to speak my mind. I always felt like you cared and that you upheld the perspective of women. And because Patrizia is a woman and is in a world of men, for you to give such a life to that voice was very meaningful to me. And I've really never witnessed anybody that works the way that he does. And I have not done a lot of movies, but I've performed a lot and I've worked with a lot of directors. And it's remarkable the way that he is legendary in his process.
And I am coming to you, Mr. Jeremy Irons. Your thoughts on working with Sir Ridley Scott? You've been in this business for a very long time. You're a legend yourself.
Well,
what
not
was
that
that
long.
process?
Not that
Just
long.
a couple years. Just a couple years.
Yeah, but no, I mean, the great thing about Ridley, apart from his humor, because that sort of northern dry, which I just love, because it's just, you can sort of eat it, But apart from that, I love the fact he's so fast, because he uses a lot of camera. And that, if you're going to shoot a scene in every direction, you don't have to go around and try and remember what you did on a certain take or whatever. It gives a great spontaneity. It's hugely freeing for the actors, and bless him for that. It's quick, and it allows you to keep that energy.
Yes.
Of just a few takes.
Fresh. Not get
yeah.
too stale.
I mean, when
love
I grew
that.
up, it was David Lean I would look towards, and who's our sort of present day David Lean? I think Ridley. It's extraordinary. Not only does he do a huge amount of work, I mean, the films keep pouring out of him, but each film is specific and extraordinary, and very painterly, as has been mentioned.
Well, that's a lot of love coming in your direction. So tell me how you're processing that and why you were the perfect person to direct this film. And what an incredible cast.
Because my wife beat the shit out of me for 27 years till we got it right. She said, what about this script? What about that script? No, and truly, a script is everything. The script is your blueprint, because once you have that, it's a catalyst. Once you have the catalyst, then it can attract all these wonderful actors. If you haven't got a script, it's hard work, and or a mediocre script it's hard work. So to me, getting the script right with Roberto, which came as a complete surprise. We didn't expect it to land, and by God, it landed in about 5 weeks, and it was it. And from that moment on, I said, okay, I'll do this next, and I can tend to get things made and get them done quick, and so away we flew.
Well, as they say, happy wife, happy life. So let's go to the wife. Why was this such an important passion project for you? Why would you keep whispering in your husband's ear saying this is the project?
To tell you the truth, I don't know. It was from the moment I read that book, I just knew I wanted to make this movie. And I had this wonderful director living next to me, and so it was normal for me to go to him, and he loved the idea right away, and he was attached to this project 3 times.
Wow.
Because it's taken 20 years
If you
to make
add
this
to the story in essence is like the Borgias or Medici. Medici, to say Medici. It's a contemporary Medici or Borgia, where the entire group are dysfunctional. and they don't even know that they are dysfunctional, and everybody thinks they are right about everything, and so you have a recipe for disaster.
And entertainment.
Right. We love disasters in content. That is for sure. We're going to go to you, Roberto. You grew up in Milan, so this is very close to you. It was a little catharsis for you to write this. Tell me about the process.
Well, yeah, my mom's a fashion designer, and I grew up in Milan, and I used to play 2 doors down from where Maurizio was murdered.
No way.
Yeah, so obviously when the story broke, I was a kid in Italy, and it was such a huge news sensation. So this kind of felt like the perfect opportunity to kind of marry my personal experience and all these places that I grew up in, and all the stuff that I saw my mom do with, obviously this incredibly cinematic fashion noir. So yeah, it was a really very, very kind of personal experience,
And you got a thumbs up from Sir Ridley Scott, so you must have done
I know,
a great
that's
job.
very special.
Going to you, Miss Salma Hayek. You're friends with Giannina for years. Why did you want to be a part of this film? Not only be friends, but say, I want to get in the crew also and spread some love to this script.
Because they asked me, and
Really? You're hard up on jobs these days? No.
and it's been my dream to work with Ridley for a long time, and I am so proud of Janina because it's not easy. She could have done it before, but it wouldn't have been the right one, and she never settled. It's a tricky story. I think the film is amazing and elegant, and I think the secret to this movie that I find that it's kind of handmade. It's a big movie, but it's handmade with a lot of guts and instincts and passion, from her to Ridley, which he's brilliant, and nobody's done more movies or
He knows what he's doing.
more about. Yeah, but he's very instinctive, and I think he's a genius also with tone, and the tone of this movie is very special because it's different than all the other stuff that he's done. And then of course the actors, I mean,
Incredible.
talk
cast.
about passion and instincts and guts, so I'm very happy I sneaked in this very special one.
You did good. I'm going to take this to Al and Jeremy. This is only the second time that you guys have shared the screen together. Tell me what it was like sort of reuniting and why it's special when you get together.
Well, is it just 2, Jeremy? I don't know. I feel as though we've done 4 or 5 together, but I guess not.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I think it might just be 2.
Just
But we've had some lunches too, which
They felt like films.
an interesting dinner or 2, I remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What is wonderful about sitting down with Al is that he allows, in a sort of way that I try to allow too, a scene just to sort of happen. There doesn't seem to be much acting involved. I love that. It just occurs. And I was extremely. We only have one scene together in this, which is very sad because I die at about page 3.
Shh, don't tell too much.
No. But I shall remember that scene for a long time. It was quite delightful to work with you again. And you've got
it's
better
great.
as you get older.
Yeah, I mean, it was so easy to work with Jeremy, and not only because he's a great actor, but also because we've worked together before, and he does go with the glow, which is, and so does Wrigley. So it was a marriage of sorts, really.
Sometimes the planets do align, which is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Jared Leto because you've transformed for a lot of films. Like, I was watching this film, like, I could not believe what I was seeing. You literally disappeared into Paolo. What was it like playing that character? Some people say that he was really the heart of the story. What was he for you?
Thank you. I appreciate it. For me, he was and is a dreamer. He's a frustrated artist who wants to share his creative dreams with the world. And, there's a big physical transformation, but really, I think the most important is what's on the inside. And, I really fell in love with this character. And I think quite fondly of him. And you know, it's I wanted to work with Ridley since 2000 and well forever, but we met in Morocco around 2003, and I marched straight up to him and I begged him for a job.
How did
And
he respond?
you know, he probably just thought I was crazy, but you know, we kept in touch over the years, and this, you know, it took 18 years, but I finally got the part, and I'm really happy that I did. And it's an incredible thing to have a genius like Ridley believe in you. It's a beautiful gift, and I'm just really, really grateful to be here and to share this moment with this incredible group of crazy people. It's great.
I have to ask, he does disappear into his roles. Why was Jared perfect for Paolo?
C'est moi. Okay.
Say two.
Because he is, I'm very aware of what he's done, what he likes to do. And also, I said, does he like to hide? He seems to like to hide.
Yes, he does.
And yet, he is so. He also did a film that I produced where he didn't hide. He played a blind man in Blade Runner 2. And in effect, he was playing, if you like, the Tyrell of the Blade Runner 1. And so there he was in his full glory, not hiding, except he was hiding metaphorically because he was blind.
The speaker more in.
So I felt I just have to find something. So when he wrote to me saying, I want to play Paolo, I said, do you know what Paolo looks like? He said, yeah.
Perfect.
I said, it'll be 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock every morning makeup. But the energy would never lapse during the day, because normally you get makeup on at 4 a.m., you're dying around about lunchtime, and it never, ever stopped. The energy is, and the invention is phenomenal.
Wow, he did it. You did a great job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
On to you, Adam. Maurizio. Oof, what a character. There's so much of a transformation of that character from beginning to end. What was the process like for you?
We had 2 weeks of rehearsal before we started, where we kind of talked about that, where the big themes, you know, that of the idea of being seduced by something that is very, very familiar to him already, and also just this idea of being in love with someone and watching, not really having perspective on the outside, how that can kind of pollute your behavior, or some way not pollute. And I don't think he was aware of it. It happened over a course of years. So he subtly kind of, I think, also came into his own. And then when he found his own footing for the first time, where people stopped telling him what he was going to be doing and started doing it himself, then he breaks off that relationship and starts to be his own person. And so at the center of it is, you know, these big ideas, but then you kind of forget about that and play the scenes. Well, you go in with that in mind, and then we shaped the scenes that way. And then we just played them, and then sometimes they would work, and sometimes we'd throw it out and try something else. But and then, you know, whatever happens in editing and what Ridley pushes it towards is then it becomes not my responsibility. You know, then it's the way that Ridley shaped it.
You know, the series of cracks in the ceramic, and the very first one I always felt was when she said, "Don't be a cretin," and there's a great, it's like The Exorcist.
He didn't like that.
Turns around and says, "Don't call me a cretin, darling," and yet there's a still, and you know, an amount of affection, except right there, that's where it starts.
Yeah, we also talked about it being subtle, that it wasn't something that it was tied to one scene. It's a now I'm just
slow
saying,
burn.
Yeah, it's a series of cracks, and I remember that one being a big one for Ridley. And also
we felt it.
Making the events happen on camera was a big thing. Also, we talked about, as opposed to going off and it happening and coming back and reporting on it is uninteresting to watch.
Right. We got to literally watch each step. And Patricia is she's a hard woman to resist, but you did a great job. On to you, Lady Gaga. Why was Patricia, my American accent, why was that the role for you to play? Why were you seduced by her?
Well, I don't know if I was seduced by her, but I did care about this character, and I very much believed in Ridley's vision for this film, in Giannina's passion, in the the cast that's sitting here that I'm so very honored and grateful to be here with. I've always also not only been an admirer of everyone on this stage, but I was a huge admirer of Adam's work, and I thought that the two of us together in these roles would really be magic. And Ridley was a absolute masterful director, and being able to break the script down with the director for 2 weeks like Adam was talking about, and go through what the cracks were in the script, and then actually watching the film back for myself and going, oh, like, I know the phrase letting stuff slip through the cracks, but that really happened in their relationship. She got away with a lot, and it went on for a long period of time until the illusion of her ability to matter in this family was shattered. And I was fascinated by in my own heritage as well as an Italian woman. I'm Italian American, but as an Italian American woman, I would never insert myself in business with a bunch of Italian men. I think this was a terrible idea on her part, but she really tried, and the joke was really on her. But why I took the role, a fascinating character, and I was sure that because when they married, the family had turned their back on him, that she did not marry him for his money. I do not believe, and I don't believe that's why she had him murdered either. Which is, I mean, I know that we could be saying we're giving the movie away, but we know what happened because this is real life. And I do have to say, I drove by where Maurizio was shot, and I just wanted to take a second to say that this movie is very fun, and this movie is so beautifully made by Ridley and Giannina and everybody involved, and also it is about the loss of a life that is a real life. And I remember driving by and I felt that pit drop in my stomach because I was so on my character, and I thought, what have I done? And we made art. And we made art out of pain.
Speaking of you driving by and feeling like you had the pit in your stomach, you have gone on record saying that you were so immersed in this character, it was hard to sort of divorce her. It was a becoming. I love that quote so much. How did you finally sort of let her go?
I have to say, Ridley helped me in a lot of ways, because when we were almost done filming, he said to me, this better be an exorcism for you, because he watched how I work, and he saw me. I'd be completely immersed in something. I'd be completely tortured. I would be so inside of the scene that I was so lost in what felt like a real truth and a real reality for me. And he said to me, in so many words, you have to leave this part of yourself behind, and that he believed in me as an artist, that I could go forward as an actor and be great without carrying all that trauma with me all the time on stage. So I have to thank Ridley. He Ridley inspired me to be a healthier actor. Adam did as well. Adam was very supportive of me working in a way that was healthy for me, and I appreciate that support from your fellow actors. And Al, you were wonderful always to talk to on set, and Jared, Salma, Jeremy. I think that I was the most terrified in our scene because I was trying to impress you in that scene, and it was very easy to be intimidated.
You did impress me very much.
Well, I meant Patrizio was trying to impress you, not me. Yeah. That so. I would say Ridley really inspired me to.
Basically, do you have to kill the character at the end? Is that how actors work? So you can let them go? Or is it less dramatic? Any actor can answer.
I feel like she died at the end of the film in a way because she had somebody killed. And I think when you kill somebody, you kill yourself. There was nothing left of her. And, why did she was of a, yeah, she was, thank you. She was of a particular class when she met Maurizio. And, I don't want to speak on behalf of Ridley. This is Ridley's film. This is Giannina's film. But I also think that she never quite made it. She was never as shiny as the Guccis. She really wanted to be, but there was always something about her that was trying to matter. Thanks for your microphone.
That's a good line right there. Al, did you want to say something? Oh, I wasn't sure if you were.
I think so.
Go for it.
What? Well, about what?
Oh, I wasn't sure. It looked like you were about to speak, so I wanted to make
Oh.
sure you had the floor. But if not,
No, I sort of give that impression, but I don't usually have anything to say. So.
just ready to sing. Mike, right here.
Yes.
It's all good. We're gonna go to the entire cast for this last
The
question.
opposite.
What was it like to wear these incredible costumes and working in these gorgeous locations? Italy is obviously stunning. Anybody can answer that in
I
whatever
didn't
order.
get to wear a lot of incredible costumes. And it was amazing. I didn't have that pressure. It was good.
Well, you wear fancy clothes all the time.
Yeah,
This
so
is
for
the
me,
break.
it was a break.
That's hilarious, by the way. Jared, you're always in prosthetics, hiding in a way. Would you agree with Sir Ridley Scott that you kind of like hiding or no?
Well, I mean, I guess it goes back to the idea of the mask. And, in the history of theater, the mask is also not only there to give the illusion of an impression of someone else, but also can reveal a different part of yourself. And I find that to be really true. I love the idea of transformative and acting and being immersed in the process. It's really just really a compulsive choice for me. It's the only way I really know how to work, and I'm attracted to that. I like the process, what it teaches me, and I like the challenge of it. And but yeah, again, like what I said before, all of that other stuff, it's just tools. It's really about what's happening on the inside. It doesn't matter how much you pour on the outside if you don't have a life that you've created, a real life, a real heart, a real soul. It doesn't matter. It's meaningless. So.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga, you wear fancy clothes all the time, but these are very specific clothes. What was it like to...
You don't know what I wear when I'm at home.
Are you a sweatpants girl?
I listen.
Yes. The pandy sweats.
Yeah. I would like to say, just to, echo Jared's sentiment, I love transformation. I love fashion. I love hair and makeup, and I love all these departments. My trailer was like a science lab. There was 15 wigs. I remember one day we sat with Ridley, and Frederick Aspiris, who did my hair for the film, actually cut the wig on my head as Ridley was standing there, directing him to cut my hair. And in makeup, we did it different every day. We had continuity photos all over the walls. There were murals and murals of Patrizia and all of her looks over the years. But what was really important to me was that her heart shined through, and that the real woman came out, and that when you were watching this film and you saw her, you weren't seeing her clothes, you were seeing her. And the clothes should never be a distraction. The clothes should be a part of the human being that you're playing. So, even the way that my eyeliner was shaped, the lip liner that we did that was similar to hers. It's the nuance of the difference between an imitation of somebody and a becoming of someone. So I would say that it was important to me that it didn't read as fashion, but that it read as a real woman with a real heart. That was really good.
I know you don't want us to concentrate on the clothes, but that red snowsuit, honey, I hope you kept that. That was everything.
I gave it to Ridley.
Are you wearing it around the house?
At the weekends.
Great. Because that was everything. Adam.
Yeah. Costumes is the huge. It's so informative. Playing a person. Obviously, we move differently when we're comfortable or we're uncomfortable, and it goes with the theme of the movie. And what I find with families in general, that it's hard to go away and come back and be acknowledged as something different. And I feel like because people want to put you back how they know you or what's familiar with them, and everybody in this movie in a way is trying to be viewed as somebody maybe that they don't feel like they are yet, or that they want to be, or they aspire to be. And that was in the costumes, whereas Maurizio was very much in school, and it doesn't want anything to do with Gucci. It then kind of transforms into wearing these elegant suits that make him more upright and wants desperately to be viewed with respect. And same thing with Patrizia. I would imagine everybody really. Aldo wants to be acknowledged as a certain way before he dies. Paulo wants to be acknowledged as like a creative force. Everybody's like desperate to be somebody else. And
Desiring,
I feel like
yeah.
clothing is a huge part of that. And obviously it looks beautiful and tells a story of wealth and comfort and ease, but costumes. Yates, who did the costumes for this, has been working with Ridley since Gladiator, I think, and every movie. And when I first met her was Last Duel, so taking off armor, then she's trying to sneak me suits in between. But I think it's also a testament to Ridley why she has worked with him for so long. It just goes with the theme that Ridley creates in everybody is specificity. It's all very, very specific, well rehearsed, and well executed, I think.
Perfectly said. Al Pacino.
Well, I enjoyed getting into my costume every day because it was my workout.
It was your workout.
Yeah, because I had to fit in it. And it took about 3 people to help me. And it took about 30 to 45 minutes to get a pair of pants on.
Oof.
And I had ropes tied around me to sort of squeeze my waist in. Of course, they wouldn't last because they'll let go of the ropes and it came out again. So we had to repeat this act over and over. I decided to get really heavy for the part.
That was
I
the
don't
acting
know
choice?
why I made that decision. I guess it was a convenient one. I was here in LA in the pandemic, so I ate a lot of bread.
I mean, who
I
doesn't?
recommend it if
It's
you want to
good.
get a workout in the camper.
Eat the dough. Eat the dough.
No, but the costume and what Jared was saying about character, and he played the character, and it's there, but the human being comes out with it. He just comes through it, as you said, and you saw it, and that's what all of them have done. I mean, they're themselves. There's a saying I like to say. Jeremy, I don't know if you've heard it, what Michelangelo said, a little poem when he was making, the Sistine Chapel. And so he said, Lord, free me of myself that I may please you. Think of it.
That's a good one.
And that's what we're all trying to do, to get out of the way so we can express.
And we should report that none of your clothes from the movie would fit you right now. I think that's...
No, I got thinner. How about that? Too late.
No 45 minutes spent there anymore.
Well,
Jeremy Irons, tell me about how the costuming sort of led you through this character.
Well, it's an enormous help. It just sort of, it helps you feel like the character you hope feels. And then I didn't have to be winched in quite like Al, fortunately. So I could get dressed reasonably quickly. But once I was in it and on those wonderful locations, half the character was done for me. And then I could just, find the rest. But Janty Yates's work is extraordinary and is very helpful.
I love it. Thank you so much. Last question to you, Sir Ridley Scott. The story of the Gucci family, which we now know in 2021 is a very luxurious brand. What do you hope people take away from this movie?
Oh my God, I'm not good at these answers, so I'll definitely
Want your wife
try
to
and
handle
find
it?
one. You want to do it, Nim? It's in a way, the film is a lesson of behavior and a lesson of not just bad behavior, sometimes well-meaning behavior. And so I believe the couples, Patricia and Mauricio, did almost certainly fall in love initially. And once you're in love and in married to, what you then learn is to be the beginning of a bit of an empire, then you feel you are part of the ownership of the empire, and there lies the actual mistake. That's the first mistake, which may be only in her mind because he's not aware of it as yet. But it will be said, and I think it's said, I think you say it following, it follows the line where the scene where it says, don't call me a cretin, darling. And says something about the name, and she says, "You hold the ring." What's the line?
He says,
Sweetie.
yeah, he says, it's my name on the mug. And I say,
It's our name.
our name, sweetie.
That is
You
definitely.
give him the finger.
That's the second big problem, and I think he then wears that, is prepared to move forward, and it was a bad morning, and it's gradually adjust into a disaster, because things keep cropping up. Aldo's misdemeanors in selling knockoffs in Hong Kong were producing a huge quiet profit, which was black money. He was not being declared. And then the time bomb comes in when Paolo thinks he's a good designer, a genius designer, and wants to be taken seriously. This goes hand in hand with knockoffs. So this is a recipe for, this is the beginning of the end.
Well, I did have my talents. Let's be honest.
I think
I like the clothing, dude.
I did have a flair.
I thought those clothes looked fierce. I bet you that would rock a runway right now.
Stick the
Did you
test of
see
time.
them? Would you wear them?
Browns.
Would you wear them?
Patrizia wore them all the time.
That means Lady Gaga wouldn't. I think that's what that meant. It's okay.
I just would I wear Paolo Gucci? Sure, I would celebrate the whole
You can work
family at this
anything.
point because we're all here because of this family, and I have to also echo Ridley's sentiment about this film being a lesson. It was hard to play a murderer, and I think that one of the lessons is also if you pay too much attention to power and money and privilege, you might be staring at the thing that is not the true disaster, which is that she was about to put a hit out on her husband, and there was really no money at stake for her in that, which I think people don't know, and I'm interested for people to see this film and to have fun because the movie is fun and beautiful and it makes you laugh, it makes you cry, and a real family was born. I mean, I feel that way about all of you. I feel a true family.
You guys give it back to her. Do you feel that way?
We love you.
Okay.
We are a family.
Don't
Viva
force
la
it.
Gaga! Viva la Gaga!
I just wanted to help you out, sis. Well, there you go, guys. Thank you so much. That is
Thank
the
you.
cast. Give it up for the cast and the leads of House of Gucci. They're clapping. I can hear them.
And Jeremy Irons. We'll see you soon.